PlayStation had their state of play this past Thursday, and it was, for a lack of better terms, underwhelming. Showcasing remakes, ports, and second or third trailers, I didn't see anything that made me super excited. That's not to say these games don't look good, they just don't really appeal to me, which is fine as I'm not the target audience for most of these games. A buddy of mine kind of summed it up that the state of play isn't like a grand showcase like the PlayStation showcases are. It's more of a here's what's going on, or kind of a friendly reminder of what is coming out. It was just very odd timing, being a last minute announcement that they were doing it and being days before the Summer Games Fest. What's going on, everyone? My name is DJCS and welcome to an all-new video here on my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be briefly discussing the PlayStation State of Play we got this past Thursday and giving my 2 cents on some of the trailers we saw. We're going to be getting a lot of gaming news over the next couple weeks with the Summer Games Fest coming next week, and I will be doing my best to keep up with the gaming news on the games that pique my interest and games we've covered in the past, because there's just not enough time in the day for me to cover everything. I'm just a one-man team here. If you are new here, please subscribe and turn on notifications so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. And of course, if you found this video even just the littlest bit of interesting, drop a like and feel free to let me know your thoughts down in the comments and let me know what games you saw that you found interesting. First out the gate was a game by Firewalk called Concord that featured long and heavy cinematics, and even though they stated it was in-engine, didn't showcase any gameplay in over 4 minutes of footage shown. The game looks amazing, the graphics look clean and detailed, but it reminds me of the Guardians of the Galaxy game by Eidos Montreal in 2021. From the footage, we get that this is a rogue group of bounty hunters or scavengers, and from the information we get afterwards, we learn that this is a 5v5 first-person shooter. So why the long-ass story-driven cutscene? It looks like each character may have a certain skill set, kind of like Overwatch. You got your heavy, the brute, the brawler, or close contact, the healer or mage maybe, so on and so forth. The narrator Tony Sue, I hope I'm saying that name right, studio head at Firewalk, claims that the crew takes on high-stakes jobs on worlds across wild space where they face other fiercely competitive crews. Then we finally get a look at some actual gameplay surrounded by more cinematics and cutscenes as they introduce us to each character. Again, this seems very Overwatch or maybe even Apex-esque. I was interested in it at first, but then once it switched its focus to the first-person PvP shooter, I lost interest. I will say that it is interesting that as you play and progress or level up in the game, you will unlock new story narratives and cinematics. I'm sure there are people who were excited for this. I just feel like those people already are invested in games like Apex, Overwatch, Fortnite, etc. This game will need to keep people's interest to win them over from their favorite PvP shooters. Beta will be out in July for PS5 and PC, and the full launch will be on August 23rd, 2024. This was definitely the biggest showing of the night, taking up a third of the entire show. Next up was a feature for God of War Ragnarok, coming to PC this September 19th. With unlocked frame rates, a variety of other PC specs that are honestly a foreign language to me, and also the Valhalla DLC included. I know some PC players that are super excited to finally get a chance to play this game after being able to play the 2018 game on PC last year, I think it was, and I'm super excited for them as well to be able to enjoy this masterpiece of a game that was my top game in 2021. This port comes from Jetpack Interactive, who also ported the 2018 game to PC. Pre-orders are now available. Then we got a trailer for Dynasty Warriors by Omega Force coming 2025. I feel this game is very Final Fantasy inspired. Cutscenes look good. Action shots seem a little last gen. I will likely be skipping this game. You can't say these state of plays don't feature something for everyone, as the next game is completely different from the first 3 games we saw. Paper Games presents Infinity Nikki, which says test in Q3 2024, which is the fiscal year of 2024 and will be sometime in the months of July and September. Why they just couldn't say July to September 2024, I don't know, but I guess they had to be fancy. I'm guessing that the testing part of it means maybe beta or something. I've never seen a release window like that before, so I don't know. Infinity Nikki seems like a Disney Dreamlight Pokemon Snap style game where you play as both a person and a cat, but also has some features of games like Mario and maybe even Zelda. I don't know. I will also be skipping this one, though my daughter may like this. It is only available on the PS5. Next up is a game from Tipswork with Ballad of Antara, which kind of gives me Black Myth Wukong, Liza P vibes, and definitely screams Souls-like. It looks good, but I don't play Souls-like games, but Black Myth Wukong may change that. This game is coming out in 2025 for the PS5. Then we jump into PSVR 2 games, which I don't have a PSVR 2, but Skydance's Behemoth looks good, and that will be coming out in 2024. Next game is by Servios and 20th Century Games, straight from the Aliens universe, is Alien Rogue Incursion, which would definitely be a game I would play if I had a PSVR 2. I still need to play Alien Isolation though. Coming out holiday 2024, so December. We get another look at NetEase Games and Marvel's Marvel Rivals, which anytime I see the Marvel logo pop up, I get excited, but I am not excited for this game. It's just not my style. It seems like another Overwatch-styled game, or even Star Wars Battlefront 2 maybe. Closed beta will be out in July for the PS5. Our next game is Where Winds Meet by Everstone Studio. Visually, it looks stunning, the combat looks good, but this also screams Souls-like, which there is nothing wrong with. It could be more Assassin's Creed or Ghost of Tsushima style, but it doesn't seem like it. I just feel like after the success of Elden Ring, more and more games are using the Souls-like style. I will have to wait until I see actual gameplay and hear people talk about it, which won't be for a while as the game is in development for the PS5. We get our first look at the Ballistic Moon Until Dawn remaster, which at first looked quite different lighting options, and the characters seem more detailed, but as the trailer went on, it seemed more like a fresh coat of paint over the original game. Until Dawn is a game made by Supermassive, which is a choose-your-path style slasher-esque horror game. Originally released in 2015, you play as a group of teenage friends who were invited to their friend's cabin on the mountains for a night of fun and partying. But as horror goes, things get spooky quickly and the group is thrown into a series of frights and jump scares as there are things bumping in the night. This is part of the Dark Pictures anthology and the predecessor to The Quarry, but are not part of the same story. There's quick time moments where your life could depend on hitting the right button, and every choice you make in the game could affect who lives and who dies, leaving many scenarios for replayability. I enjoyed my playthrough and will definitely be looking for my fellow streamers when they play this for their first time, and they are also working on a movie for this game. This will be out for the PS5 and PC this fall, just in time for Halloween. Path of Exile 2 was next by Grinding Gear Games. Graphics look good, story seems interesting. It is a top-down action RPG like that of Diablo 4 and Baldur's Gate 3, last year's Game of the Year winner. It offers couch co-op, which I believe means you can play together on the same system. It also features cross-play, cross-progression, which I don't know what you'll be crossing with, as it only says it's coming out for PS5 with early access in late 2024. Upon further research, it appears that it will be out on Steam at some point and is a free-to-play game with co-op of up to 6 players, which is something they probably should have promoted in the trailer. But with Summer Games Fest next week, I'm sure we will get more info. Then we get another trailer for the Silent Hill 2 remaster from Bloober and Konami. I've heard a lot of people say that it doesn't look good graphic-wise, and it's not quite on the level of a Resident Evil 4, but for someone who never played the original, I'd say it looks good. Not like next-gen good, but still good. Silent Hill 2 is of course a Resident Evil-styled action survival horror game that takes place in a fictional Silent Hill. You play as James Sunderland, who ventures to Silent Hill after receiving a letter from his deceased wife. The town of Silent Hill is filled with a variety of monsters and creatures to haunt your nightmares, and I am definitely looking forward to playing this for the first time. Will it be super scary like a Visage or Madison? Probably not. But I love the Resident Evil series. I enjoyed playing Dead Space, and I feel like I will enjoy this as well. Silent Hill 2 releases on the PS5 October 8th, just in time for spooky season. We got the gameplay trailer for Monster Hunter Wilds from Capcom. Shout out to Buck Fuzel, who loves some Monster Hunter. Character designs look amazing, graphics look really good, and the story seems interesting. It's just not something that I would normally play, but this year I've been stepping out of my comfort zone and playing game styles I don't normally play. So I would definitely be keeping an eye on this game releasing sometime next year. And they showcased is a follow-up Astro Bot game. I never played the original Astro game, which displays all the PS5 features, but this game seems like fun. It reminds me of a Crash Bandicoot, Banjo and Kazooie, and even Mario. The colors are vibrant, and while it's not super detailed and it's cartoony, it looks like it would be a fun, short game. It looks like it will have some puzzles and different elements to venture through the game, some Easter eggs and cameos including Parappa the Rapper, Kratos, Iron Giant I think, Genie from Aladdin, Star Wars maybe, and a few others I know I missed. It just seems like a really fun game, and I kind of wish that it had multiplayer like the Mario games so I could play with my kids. While it wasn't an amazing state of play, and it may have been mid or underwhelming, I know there are people who saw at least one game in this display they were excited for, which is awesome. No one is going to love every game, which is why they display a variety of games so that everyone gets a chance to see a game that may pique their interest. We will be getting a lot more info over the next week or so on games, and as I mentioned, I will be doing the best I can to cover the games that pique my interest and hopefully yours as well. Of course, anything horror, comic book, rockstar, and sci-fi related, I'll be keeping an eye out for. Once again, if you are new here, please consider subscribing and turning on your notifications so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. If you enjoyed this video, please consider dropping it a like and let me know which game piqued your interest shown here down in the comments. All your interactions with the channel help boost the video and are greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching, have a good one, and as always, don't forget to tip your DJ. Later, dudes.